All your good times and greatest hits are right here on the Local Life with Tam. It's the Fraser Coast 103.5 Triple M, and I'm joined this morning by Amanda from Carter Cooper Realty. How you doing?
I'm good. Good morning.
Now, there's been a lot of talk about house prices and what's happening around the market at the moment. If I'm looking to buy, should I be buying now or should I be waiting for the prices to drop a little bit?
This is a question I get asked almost every day. So, based on the data we're seeing, we don't believe the market is going to drop.
Mhm.
Yes, things are a little quieter at the moment, and there's certainly some uncertainty with what's happening globally, but overall, prices have remained strong. So, to be honest, now is actually a great time to buy because there are fewer buyers actively looking, which means less competition. And we're seeing more properties on the market compared to earlier periods, which gives buyers a bit more time to make decisions and negotiate. But once confidence does return, which it will, we only see the market picking back up again, which is likely going to bring that competition back with it. So if you are ready to buy and you find a home that ticks the boxes for you, I wouldn't wait.
Yeah, okay. And I've been hearing a lot of agents say, they've got properties that they're selling off market or before they go to market. How do I find those off market or pre market properties?
Yeah, so the best way to gain access to off market properties is to get in touch with a local agent and ask to be added to their database. That way, you'll be notified as soon as any new listings become available. And it's a great idea for active buyers to do because being the first in line can make a huge difference when you're making offers.
And what features matter most to buyers today, would you say?
Right now, we're seeing buyers really focus on practical features. A big trend at the moment is properties with potential for dual living
Mm,
because more adult children are moving back home to save for their first property, but people are still wanting that sense of space and separation.
absolutely.
Side access is also a huge one. It always is, especially here in Harvey Bay, where lots of buyers have a boat or a
Yeah.
caravan or even both. And then the features like home offices, energy efficiency, good security, those are things that will always be top of mind for buyers.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I was selling my house, how should I price my home in a shifting market?
Ooh, okay, I like this one. So, we're seeing a lot more stock on the market now than we have previously, which naturally impacts supply and demand.
Mm,
If you overprice your property in this kind of market, it simply just won't sell. You won't get any inquiry and therefore you won't have any inspections and you won't receive any offers. A
mm.
common mistake that sellers make is thinking that they can start high and adjust the price later. But the reality is the first 2 weeks on the market are when your property gets the most attention.
Mm.
So if you're overpriced during that key window, buyers will overlook your property and then you risk losing momentum. And that's why it's so important to price correctly from the start. That's how you achieve the best result. And it's always mattered, but in today's market, it's more important than ever. So you want to make sure that you choose an agent who is honest with you about price and not one who just tells you what you want to hear only to push for a price reduction a few weeks later.
Yeah, that's it. Because you look at a property that's been on the market for a while and you have to start to question why, don't you?
Yeah,
Why has
that's
this
right. We
been
get
for
asked that
sale?
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, fair. And what upgrades or staging really make a difference when you're selling your home?
Honestly, you don't need to spend a fortune on renovations or styling to get a great result. The simple things are where you'll get the most impact. So, a fresh coat of paint, always white, please. It makes a huge difference. Decluttering is key, along with professional photography and just presenting your home in a way that allows buyers to picture themselves living there. I always say if you know you're going to be moving, start packing early. The less clutter or personal items you have in the property, the bigger it feels and the easier it is for buyers to imagine their own belongings in there. So just stick to the simple things.
Yeah, fair. And will I get a lower price if I sell my home off market?
While we do have a great database, you're always going to reach more people when you go to the market.
Mm.
And we all know the best way to achieve the highest possible price is to have multiple buyers interested in your property. That said, sometimes we start by contacting our database first to see what interest comes through. And when I say that, I mean our whole team is involved in this process. So you're not just relying on one agent, you've got our collective experience and networks backing you. And our team has a lot of years of experience behind them
Mm.
and therefore extensive databases and really strong buyer relationships. If we then don't get the result we want from the initial off market approach, going to the market will then ensure that you reach the widest audience.
Yeah, fair.
So the right approach is very much dependent on the type of property. It can also depend on your budget and how quickly you're looking to sell. But at the end of the day, a good agent would never encourage you to undersell your property. just to get a quick sale. And I think that's really important to consider when you're choosing an agent. So do your homework, look at the agent's results. Are their properties consistently selling below asking price, and so on? We've worked really hard to build a reputation for delivering results, and part of that is making sure that we never undersell a property. And your home deserves to have a strategy that maximizes its value. So I did get off on a bit of a tangent there, sorry. But in short, if you have the right agent, then no, you should not be worried about doing an off-market sale.
No issues there at all. And should I sell my home myself or exclusively through an agent?
I have just been waiting for someone to ask me this
Sorry,
question,
I'm the
Toby. So there was actually a statistic in 2025 that showed for sale by owner homes had a median sale price of roughly $75,000 less than homes sold with an agent in the same year, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
So there's also only about 5% of homes that are for sale by owner transactions. So obviously, agents sell the overwhelming majority of homes, and therefore we have a lot more contacts. We do this every day, and we're trained in marketing, pricing, negotiation strategies, and most sellers simply don't have those tools. So trying to do it yourself might save you a commission fee, but it can cost you a lot more in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely fair. And now it's time to talk about the property of the week.
Ooh, yes. Okay, new thing that we're going to be doing is a
Yes.
property of the week. So this week, I've got a great listing. It's 42 Conondale Court in Torquay. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It's been renovated, move-in ready, and it's got the most amazing access to the rear. You've got 2 points of access there. It's listed at offers over $830, which is really great value, and it's actually going to be open for inspection on Saturday, 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. So if you're out and about, pop in and say hello.
Lovely. That's really exciting. So if you are thinking of buying, selling or renting, make sure you get in touch with Amanda and the team, the Bay Trust at Carter Cooper Realty. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thanks for having me.